Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Bella Salon and Day Spa, located at 41 West Main Street in Northeast Pennsylvania, proudly supports Chautauqua Sunrise and its volunteers. More information at bellasalonanddayspa.net. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. From the Access Channel 5 studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Channel 5. Continuing the traditions of Senior Report, we are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week, countywide, from 9 to 10 a.m. Join us by calling in live, emailing us, or checking out our social media. And now, from the Channel 5 studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey, where am I? There I am. Woo! Wow, I think it was the wind. I don't know about you guys, but I got here in record time. The wind just blew me up 394, and here we are. Wow, a lot of wind this weekend, wasn't it? Incredible. Have you guys had any chances to see the news out of Buffalo or the local paper? The break wall in Westfield, huge section. Randy, I think you could drive your van through there. It's a huge hole, and I guess it was slowly eroding from underneath and just took it right out. That's just incredible, the forces of nature. I would never have dreamt that. That's something else. Well, I hope you all been safe and you're taking it slow and easy. Yesterday we got a little taste up on the hills of winter weather. I guess over the hill in Jamestown they had some snow. Make sure you got those winter tires in good shape and practice stopping. Slow down. It's all of a sudden it comes on. It's quick. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'm Doc Hamels. You're watching Chautauqua Sunrise. And if you have any questions or you want to make a comment, give us a call at 753-5225. You can email us. You can Twitter us. You can Facebook us. You can do all those things that are listed right here. It's, I often tell people we're here for all of you. We're a community service in a certain sense. We're here to talk about what's going on in Chautauqua County and all the cool things, all the cool people doing lots of neat stuff. And today's show is going to be no different. So you got to stick around. We've got a good program going on. And always, if you missed the show, we are rebroadcast throughout the week at various places in Jamestown, Fredonia, Dunkirk area, and also out of Mayville twice a day. And my good friends at WRFA, Low Power to the People. They broadcast this, and good afternoon for those that will be listening to us later in the week at 1 o'clock on WRFA. So we're everywhere, and I got some really cool news that I wanted to share with you. That I keep track of how many views each show gets on YouTube. I got to keep my tubes correct here. And I'm proud, very proud to announce that we broke 4,000 views the other day. And for a small, once a week, local TV show, that's pretty good. I mean, I don't even know what show we're on, 72 or 73, and that tells me that we're covering topics that people are interested. Our guests, when they go home, they let people know that they've been on, and it's on YouTube. They share it, and that means whatever we talk about here is being shared with the world, and that's just one more opportunity for Chautauqua County as a whole and people here to shine. So keep the views going, and thank you. I appreciate that. My buddy Kev Rowe was on last week, and he was so excited about playing his music and singing. We cut off, and he said, "Oh my gosh, I forgot to say the most important thing," and he wanted me to do this, so I'm sharing right now. So call this an advertisement. I don't care, a commercial. This is for Kev Rowe, my buddy here. He is playing every Thursday at the Landmark from 6 to 8 p.m. so throughout the winter months, so check him out. If you haven't had a chance to see his show last week, it's on YouTube. He's burning up the charts. He's well over like 130 views already, and he's only been on a few days. Kev, you did a great job, and we just love listening to you. And I've had family listen to the show, and they said, "Wow, he's really, really good." I go, "Yes, he is really, really good." And we've had a lot of other fine musicians on the show as well, and we got more coming throughout the months to come. Okay, just a shout out to my buddies that were in the show last night that I was part of, the adult evening with Shel Silverstein. We performed over at the Patterson Library in Westfield, and it was a great evening. We were down in the art gallery, and it was seating. No, it was standing room only. It was full, and we just had a great fun evening. So Rick Mascaro, wherever you are, thank you. If you've been awake yet, we had a cast party last night at his house. Lots of fun, good comradeship and lots of fellowship amongst the actors, and that good time, lots of music. And I wanted to let you know that they're through the Lakeshore Center for the Arts, they are looking to do a production of It's a Wonderful Life. And it's going to be a radio version where people have scripts and stand in front of microphones and do like old-time radio. And so they're looking for actors and actresses and singers, from what I understand, for that. So if you're interested in the area, this area, get a hold of Rick Mascaro. He's there in Westfield. They're also on Facebook. I want to also thank those that came out for the Westfield Mayville Rotary Gold Rush. We had a lot of fun last Saturday and had a good turnout, gave away a bunch of money and made a lot of money. And as you know, the proceeds go right back into our county, and we support lots of different programs all over the Lakeshore area. Okay, we got a bunch of announcements. Let's start out with some things that I have on my iPad, and then we'll go to the things that we have scripts and screens for. So, first I want to talk about, on my specs here, my buddy Janet McDermott put out an announcement here. As you remember that we had Janet on here, and she talked about the stewards of children, talking about child abuse, and for adults like myself and all of you that are watching right now, that you can get trained free. And they are going to have this program in December through and very scheduled trainings. You just got to give Karen Yaversky a call, and the number there is 338-9844. This is important because if you get the training, then not only does that help them with their grant and achieving what they're looking to get. I think it was 5,000 people trained in Chautauqua County. She tells me right now they're up to 1,600, so keep going. I'm a trained steward of children. The training doesn't last very long, but it is crucial that you know what to do, what to look for, and who to call to protect our kids here in Chautauqua County. So keep on going, Jana and company. Then I got some information from Chautauqua Opportunities. I was sitting at a meeting because I'm on the board of directors there, and they said, well, we still have openings for our Head Start program. Well, I said, send me the information. Do you know that the children of basically 3 and 4 year olds, there are openings for children right now that you can have enroll to these programs. It's free of charge. It's awesome training. I just was at a meeting the other day with Congressman Tom Reed at Chautauqua Opportunities, and Chautauqua Opportunities is considered like one of the top community action programs in the country, not the state. We're right up there in the state, but in the country. And our Head Start program has been a center of excellence for the last few years. and it's right up there. So I want to tell you right now, there are openings for 3 and 4-year-olds, all right, at the Connection South on Flavanna Town Line Road. They're, they are open from 8:30 to 12, or in the afternoon from 12 to 3:30. There's approximately 30 openings there for children, 3 and 4-year-olds. Check it out. There's program openings at Holy Family Site, 1135 North Main Street. Also at 150 Pardee Avenue, which is the Bush School, has Head Start and a UPK program there, and they've got, that's for 4-year-olds, and there are approximately 10 openings there. That's Monday through Friday, full-day programs. There's another program at in Kennedy at the Temple Elementary, 3470 Cemetery Road. As for 3 and 4-year-olds, they have 2 openings there, so you can check that out. And then a lot of people don't realize that they offer home-based options where folks come into your home, a family educator, for about 90 minutes a week, and they help, maybe you work with your child in the house, and this is open for newborns to 4-year-olds, and it's all free services, so check it out. Let's see what else we got here. So if you have any questions, give them a call at 366-5661, and this is Leanne Sabuian, and if you want her cell phone number, it's 450-4977. So if you have children in that 3 to 4-year-old range and you would like to get them into some type of educational program, give Leanne a call. Again, 366-5661, and that's the Head Start program through Chautauqua Opportunities. Let me see what else I got here. Okay, a few other things quickly. I told you about those things. Ripley Free Library has something coming up November 24th, a couple days before Thanksgiving. It's called Cocktails in Chautauqua Color. It's an art evening where you pay $40. They provide food and beverages, and you make a painting. I don't know what they're going to paint, but I've seen a variety of things. I've seen things from Van Gogh that people have done. I think it was a buffalo like up in Buffalo Bills, like a head of a bison or something I've seen done. Some scenery for fall scenes and things like this. It's evidently become a very popular thing around the area. It's from 4:30 to 7. The local artist is Kate Tarkowski, and she'll be helping you with that sort of thing. So it sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, I think that takes me next to this. All right, make a little note here. We have a slide, maybe? I'm not sure. No slides, just information. This is from my buddies at Infinity. All students and families interested in learning more about Infinity or signing up for lessons or classes are invited to attend a new student orientation session at the Infinity Center. Infinity's next orientation session will be held on Thursday, November 19th, beginning at 5:45. Additional sessions will be held every 30 minutes thereafter as sessions become full. Orientation sessions last approximately 20 minutes and are followed by a tour of the facility and the scheduling of lessons. The Infinity Center is located at 301 East 2nd Street in downtown Jamestown. I can't say enough about Infinity. I've had a good opportunity to work with them and for them. I've visited down there a number of times. I've played music with the kids and so forth, and done some concerts down there. And gosh, if I had an Infinity when I was a kid, I don't know where I'd be today. Maybe I'd be like in California recording. I don't know. A lot of the young artists that are coming out of there, like Addison Moon that was on the show here, they are just light years, I was going to say heads above us, but light years ahead of us in technical skills and creativity that's been unleashed and so forth. So check it out if your kid is interested in these kinds of things. Get them away from that iPad and the telephone. Yeah, telephone is just the same thing as your iPad these days, and the television, and get them into some music or art or theater or drama or writing. Good stuff. One more thing here. Infinity always sends me a couple of things. Infinity Visual and Performing Arts will be holding its 17th birthday party at the Infinity Arts Cafe Friday, November 20th at 7 p.m. Please join them as they celebrate 17 years of providing quality and fun arts education opportunities to Chautauqua County's youth. Listen to this. This event is free. It's family friendly and open to the public. Audience members and supporters of all ages are welcome. Also, I wanted to shout out to a buddy of mine who I had an opportunity to visit this week, Pat Christina. She's from Fredonia. She says she watches the show. Hi, Pat. I hope you're watching today. And on a final note, many of you that watch the show know that I don't talk a lot about politics or world events because there's you can do that. You can pick up your remote and you can turn on just about any channel that you want and they're going to talk about things. But I do want to say that I'm deeply saddened by what's going on in Paris right now. Barb and I and my daughter, my son, and his wife, we visited that beautiful, beautiful city this summer, and it's just heartbreaking to think about what's going on there right now. I have relatives that are very, very close to that region. I won a cousin that lives there, and it's heartbreaking. And they supported us at the time of 9/11, and I know that we've had an interesting relationship with France over the years, but they've always been there for us, and we should be there for them as well. And with that note, also to keep in mind that this is a plague that's spreading throughout the world. So let's all keep our eyes and ears open. Let's look out for each other, cover each other's back. And if you see something that's strange, call the authorities, ASAP. Even if you're wrong, better to be wrong than sorry. So our hearts go out to all those folks in France right now, and we hope that they can get some quick relief to the situation and push back the crazies of the world. So with that, let's take a break and we'll be right back. I'm Doc Hamels. You're watching Chautauqua Sunrise.
This new dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions.
Good luck, big guy.
His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Hey, welcome back. I hope that you grabbed a coffee or you're just sitting down relaxing. This could be sometime tonight. Who knows when you watch me? I don't know. You can be on YouTube right now watching us. Nonetheless, it's all good, and we got a really great guest here. We've been talking on the break, and the topic is really cool. Let me frame this a little bit. As many of you know, I'm a musician. This is a long story. I'll get to it here, to where I want to get to. But maybe about close to 9 years ago, I wanted to buy a new guitar because I was going to retire, and I thought I'll give myself a little present. So I looked up the Martin guitar dealers in the area, and there was only one, and it was called Trinity Guitars, and where's that? So I had to end up going way out in the edges of Jamestown to this guy's house, and he meets me at the door, very friendly guy, and he says, come on in, and I go down to his basement. It was like guitar heaven. You could hear music. It was like stars were shining. It was just incredible. There was all these guitars down there. And that was when I started my friendship with Jim Rohler. Jim is an awesome guy. He does a lot of missionary work throughout the world and regionally. And he sold me a guitar, and from that point on, we've been in good contact. We've done some open houses together and things like, or not open houses, open mics. We have a connection with Infinity. Well, anyways, Jim was on the show some time ago. I think it was back in March of this year. And he says, you know who you should have on the show? No, who should I have on the show? And he said, you should have Amy Rohler on the show. I go, who's Amy Rohler? And he started to tell me all about the program and so forth. I said, absolutely. So somewhere along the line, I think Amy contacted me, and then we started emailing back, and that was months ago. So Amy, welcome to the show. You finally are here. And
it's really great to be here. I'm very excited about it.
Good. Well, you got a lot of good things going on, lots of things to talk about. And so, Amy, you were telling me a little bit about yourself, but kind of put it all together for us. Where were you from originally, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm actually from Oregon originally. That's where my family lives now. Actually, it's not an unknown town. I'm from Roseburg, Oregon. Do you remember the school shooting? Umpqua Community College? That's my hometown.
Oh, man.
And so it used to be unknown, but not so much anymore. And I haven't lived there for a long time. My family lives mostly in Portland now.
Portland, okay.
But I moved here to Chautauqua County from New York City, and my husband and I co-pastored a church there for about 5 years.
Wait a minute. You went from Oregon to New York City to Chautauqua County?
Well, there was a few stops along the way.
I guess so.
I've lived in Chicago. I've lived in New Haven, Connecticut. I've lived in Sioux City, Iowa. I've
Oh my
lived
gosh.
in Minnesota, mostly due to school, internships, jobs, that sort of thing.
Kinda
So
pushes
I
you
didn't go
along.
straight from Oregon to New York City. But
So you got a good background of what life is about in America then.
yeah, I've really been blessed to live in a lot of different places. Grew up in Oregon, lived there my whole life, and then got to experience a lot of some great communities and great cities, I think.
And now you have the pleasure of living in Chautauqua County.
This is actually the longest place that I have lived.
Really? How long
since
you been
I
here
moved.
now?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
You planning on sticking around?
I think so.
Good.
I started my family. I have a
All
1-year-old
right.
and a 3-year-old.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Keeps me very, very busy.
That's
Very
a
busy.
that's a full-time job unto itself.
Oh, that's for sure.
Especially when the 1-year-old turns 2 years.
We're working on that. So,
Very good. So now, you are an ordained minister.
yes, ordained in the Evangelical Covenant Church,
Okay.
and went to school at North Park University in Chicago and Yale Divinity School in New Haven.
Wow. Is it my imagination, or is there like a plethora, a bursting of ladies, women into the ministry?
Well, I think women have always been in ministry, and in fact, they've often been the backbone of the church. But I think people are often. I don't know. I don't know if there's a bursting of it or not.
Maybe it's just I haven't been aware of it.
Maybe that's true. But I think, for example, people like to hear me preach because sometimes it just
I
sounds
bet your
different.
husband does.
He actually says that I'm the better preacher, and I'm not even just saying
Oh, is he a
that.
preacher too?
He is, yeah. My
Oh
husband's
my,
also
I
in
can't
ministry,
imagine
yeah.
that, 2 preachers in the same household.
Just imagine growing up in that household. You feel sorry for the children.
Okay.
So, but I think part of it is just the world is changing. It's becoming more diverse. It's becoming different. I think
Yeah, it's,
opportunities are opening up for all kinds of people, and it's really, really nice to see.
yes,
So,
absolutely. Well, a number of my friends on Facebook, they're ministers and women ministers, and I just all of a sudden I was thinking about coming over here on the way here, and I thought, I think I know 5 women ministers. And growing up in Buffalo as a kid in Catholic church,
right.
you had nuns and you had priests. The nuns did this, and the priests did the preaching. And now that I'm more worldly, and I see a variety of different denominations and so forth, it's nice. It's refreshing, to say the least, to see that there's lots of different viewpoints and things like that.
It's
So
good to hear different voices. I think.
yeah, absolutely. So, what kind of work have you been doing over the years? I mean, we'll get to what you're talking about today, but what are the things that brought you to be here, the director of the Community Helping Hands? So,
Well, what happened was my husband and I were co-pastoring a church in New York City, loved it there, and when we moved to Chautauqua County, we decided that we wanted to do different jobs. We'd worked together, we'd gone to school together for many years, and we just thought it would be healthy and interesting, to do different jobs. And it just worked out that the job at Community Helping Hands and my husband's the pastor at First Covenant, they just sort of happened to open up at the same time. And
serendipitous.
yeah, and we didn't know how it was going to work out if we were doing separate jobs. We knew that probably one of us would be in non-traditional ministry, which is what I do, non-parish ministry. We didn't know who, and it just, this is just the way that I think God kind of intended it. So I've really been enjoying it. It was very much an education for me to go from pastoral ministry, preaching, teaching, counseling, administrating, that sort of thing, to, working with people in poverty, doing a lot of community organizing, community development. I do everything from, we just opened up indoor batting cages. That's really not my area of expertise. So it's been a lot of fun and a great learning experience to do what I do.
You said a word that's been near and dear to my heart in a sad way, and you said poverty. Years ago, when I was in high school, I was part of the war on poverty, and I didn't realize this until many, many years ago. Many years after, I'm sorry, that it was actually the start of Lyndon Johnson started the war on poverty, and he started community action programs, CAP programs. Well, I didn't even realize that that's what it was. I just did it because I was in high school and it seemed like the right thing to do, and I guess it was just part of my temperament to help people and do outreach into impoverished areas of Buffalo, and it was called CAP. And I never realized that's what it was. And then when I became involved with Chautauqua Opportunities, which does war on poverty and so forth, that they are a community action program. It was one of those aha moments. So are you a community action program?
We're not a community action program. We're a faith-based organization.
Okay, doing community action.
Yeah, doing community action, and very much supported by the local community, not just churches, but local businesses. We do a lot of work with Chautauqua Opportunities and Catholic Charities and Salvation Army, and certainly Department of Human Health and Services.
All that networking that we were talking about
Yeah,
earlier.
absolutely. You know, like I think in a small community, you're often working together. I think that's a good thing.
Yesterday morning, Chautauqua Opportunities held a get-together, town meeting, whatever you want to call it, with Congressman Tom Reed. And he was going through a variety of initiatives that he's supporting in Congress about the war on poverty. And I sat there thinking, I've been involved since it's got to be, I don't know, like 45 years, and we're still
Why is
fighting
the war still going on?
Poverty. and I guess I want to say this over and over again, that people in Chautauqua County don't realize that we still have a lot of poverty here. And it's just not in Chautauqua County, it's throughout the southern tier, across all along the Pennsylvania border. You get up into Buffalo, Dunkirk areas. I mean, we've got a lot of work to do yet.
Well, and I don't have the exact figures in front of me, but I think it's almost 30%
Easily.
of people in Chautauqua County that are close to or below the poverty line. And that's a significant portion of the population.
Absolutely.
And that's rural, that's urban.
Sure, that's the average. And I know that there are spots where there's probably well over 50% of the children are on free and reduced lunch in some of our communities, and I know that for a fact. And I don't think there's any school system, any town where there isn't poverty in Chautauqua County.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think part of my own story was that I was somebody who was very much like committed to justice and compassion, and I was somebody who thought I knew a lot about poverty, but much more in theory and in my head. And then when I took this job, I began to actually have relationships with people who were on public assistance or, who got welfare. They were part of my staff. And it changed my perspective. It was very different to know about poverty and actually know somebody who was living with the challenges of trying to feed their family, make their life work. There's a lot of healthcare issues that are involved. It's not just a matter of income or getting a job. It's a much more complicated thing.
It's very complex. And I think that, and I want to talk about everything you have to talk about, but I think this is a backbone to our discussion today, that there's two general types of poverty, and people say, what are you talking about? There's poverty that people find themselves in like immediately, whether they're out of work or they find themselves in
a medical issue
that brings them to their knees financially, and those people have never experienced what it's like to be poor.
Yeah.
And so that's a different situation, and perhaps services that can be given them will help them out of that or help them maintain a better lifestyle. And then there's what we call cyclical or generational poverty.
Yes.
And that has been created not only by the individuals in part by themselves, but by the system that our government has set up, that we don't encourage people to move out of poverty, but we keep them actually in poverty because of the rules of you can't make so much money, you can't go to work more than so many hours, you can't do this, you can't do that. And this is what we were talking about yesterday at this forum, is they're trying to break those rules so that people that are in generational poverty can now step into what's no longer poverty and start to phase into a situation where they're not penalized. So keep your eye on that. So that should be something coming down the line.
That's a wonderful thing, because it's really hard to determine like who's at fault. Is it the system? Is it the individual?
Right.
It's really a combination of both. The system is good, but the system is also bad. Individuals make good choices and they make bad choices.
Correct.
And so figuring out how to get around that is a very challenging thing.
Okay, your title is Director for the Community Helping Hands.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, Community Helping Hands is a faith-based organization, and to put it really simply, we run a secondhand thrift store. So people give us donations of furniture, clothing, household items, but what makes us a little bit different than maybe other thrift stores is that 50 to 60% of all the donations we receive, we give away to people who have emergency needs for those kinds of things. And people come to us for a variety of reasons. Sometimes someone's just gotten out of prison and they really have nothing but the clothes on their back. They might have managed to find an apartment, but if you have no income, how do you buy the things that you need? Pots and pans, silverware, a can opener, beds, dressers, a table and chairs, a couch to sit on.
Let's think about that for a minute, because I know Joe Gerasi quite well, and been on some review committees for the jail and so forth. And one of the things that they've always worked on is transitioning from somebody that's been long-term in prison, and when they leave prison, it's exactly what you say. Maybe at that point, their family is sort of like disavowed from them.
Right.
They've lost their spouse. Their home is gone. There is no home left, apartment, whatever. And so they walk out the door. Congratulations, good luck to you. And there they stand, and they got a few bucks in their pocket. And what's next?
Right, right. And so what we do is we meet with them, find out what their needs are, and oftentimes in that process, we're referring them to other organizations that do things we don't do. And then we give them a voucher or a gift certificate, and they basically shop in our thrift store for themselves for the things they need. So when you're shopping in our stores, you don't know if the person you're shopping next to is an antiques dealer or somebody who might have been formerly homeless, in prison, a woman who might have been a victim of domestic violence is starting over. Sometimes it's just people who do have income issues. They don't have the money to buy coats for their kids or school clothes, that sort of thing. And it really ranges the help that we give. Sometimes it is literally their whole household. They might have had a fire. That has happened many times.
Wow.
And sometimes it's just, I just need some clothing to get us through this next season, and I can't really afford it based on my income.
Okay.
So,
Hold on a second. Now, Jeff, I know you're listening. If you want to pop up pictures as we're talking, because Amy sent us a bunch of pictures, and they make sense while we're talking, we're just going to let you pop those up, okay? Folks, you're watching Chautauqua Sunrise. My guest is Reverend Amy Rohler. She's the Director of Community Helping Hands, and we're talking about all those kinds of services that you provide. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, I have never heard of this program before.
right.
I live in Ripley. Who's this open to?
This is open really to anyone. We help people from all over Chautauqua County. We get referrals from Dunkirk. We get referrals from Pennsylvania. Because we're a faith-based organization, we don't have any limits on who we can help. And oftentimes we get referrals from churches, we get referrals from government agencies, from other organizations that help people like the Salvation Army or Catholic Charities. And basically they're saying to us, this person needs help, this is what they need help with, this is why they're in the situation they're in. And a lot of people like to donate to us because they know that what they're donating is really going to help local families in need.
So if I got this right, if somebody's in true need, they could come to the thrift shop. Do they have to apply for this, or how does that work?
If they need help with everything, like furniture, household, they need a referral.
Okay.
We need somebody saying, this is,
You gotta be legit.
you can't just come to the thrift store and say, wow, I love that couch, I'm in need of help, But with clothing, we do what we call walk-ins for clothing every Friday. You don't have to have a referral. We ask no questions. You say you need help with clothing, and we help you.
Okay. Early on in the show, right now, where is it? What are your hours? Let's get that out of the way.
Okay, well, we are located in Jamestown, and it is at the Gateway Center. It's 31 Water Street, very close to the hospital for those who know Jamestown, close to WCA Hospital. And it's at the Gateway Center, which a lot of people also don't know about. But the Gateway Center is an old factory building, formerly Chautauqua Hardware, built in 1897, and it actually houses several not-for-profits as well. St. Susan's Soup Kitchen is there. BOCES Adult Education Program is there. They do GED programs, ESL classes, a lot of service navigation, job prep, that sort of thing. Mental Health Association is there as well. That's been in the news a lot lately with some of the addiction problems in this county. They do a lot of peer counseling, support groups for people who have mental health issues and drug addiction, and that are struggling with that. And what happens is all these programs, even though we are not connected formally, because we're housed in the same building, we partner
Just a
together,
natural-
we leverage resources. It's a great place for people who are in need of help to go for help because it's centrally located in Jamestown, and they can get a lot of help in a lot of different places without having to walk all over Chautauqua County.
I know right now that somebody's watching this show. I know this. I don't know their name, I don't know where they live, but I'm positive somebody's watching right now and they're thinking, wow, my husband has a couch that I hate, and when he's not home, I'm going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Or there's somebody like myself, my wife says, get rid of all those sweaters that you never wear, although somebody gave them to me for Christmas, and I shouldn't do that. But how do we get the stuff to you? Do you have... I saw a picture of a truck. Does something come around and get that? Or?
We do have a truck that picks up donations. It's mostly larger furniture donations just because it's a limited schedule that we have. But if you call 716-487-1488, you can call and schedule a pickup. And we pick up
487-1488.
Yes.
Got it.
And we pick up Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturdays, 10 to 12.
Okay.
You can also drop off donations, too. We love that just as much. And we do have a night drop-off box if you're there when we're not open, which would be Sundays and Mondays, and then anytime after 4 o'clock. So, you know, we really could not do what we do without the support of the community and those donations that come in.
All right, so whatever comes in can go anywhere in the county. It can come in from anywhere in the county and can go out to anywhere in the county.
Yeah, I would say it's probably mostly Jamestown, but we, like I said, we do get a lot of referrals from other places because we are the only place that gives help with furniture in Chautauqua County. And there's a real need. We do about 20 appointments a week of people in need of help.
Right.
And I would say that almost every single one of them needs a bed.
Well, if you
needs
think
dresser,
there's
needs a couch.
135,000 people in Chautauqua County and you take 1/3 of that,
Right.
that's a lot of people. We got a phone call here. Would you like to take a phone call?
Sure, why not?
Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Jack. Good morning, Pastor Amy. I guess you knew you had a phone call because you heard the dogs barking.
In my earpiece, I heard a...
I'm sorry about
Must
that.
be Linda on the line again. Good morning.
Good morning. I put one of them in the crate so there wouldn't be any barking, but it didn't do any good.
Didn't do any good.
Well, good morning, Pastor Amy and Jack. And Pastor Amy, it's so great to see you on the show. This is Linda.
Is this
And
Linda? Is this Linda?
Linda Spalding
From the Office of the Aging.
from the office.
Hi, Linda.
She
How are
has
you?
that voice that everybody knows.
I actually recognize the voice. It's great to hear from you.
Well, it's great to see you on the show, and I have to announce that we have senior workers at Community Helping Hands. The Community Helping Hands is one of our what we call host agencies, where we have senior workers placed, and they're on our program, on our payroll, but they do work there. And Community Helping Hands also hires people off of our program and puts them on their own payroll, and it is a wonderful center.
It sounds
is
like it.
unbelievable. Everybody should go there.
Oh, Linda, thank you so much. Linda brings up, actually, one of the other things that we do besides help people with emergency needs is most of our staff are either people who are on public assistance, doing community service, sometimes volunteers that we've actually helped, and they come back and they volunteer and kind of pay it forward.
Yeah.
And then we just have volunteers from the community who love helping, who may be unemployed or retired, part of a church. And that's really how we're able to do what we do, is our staff, they're people who've been in that situation themselves often. They understand what it's like.
They understand.
And so they're the ones that are sometimes answering our phones. They're the ones who are sorting donations, ringing you up in the thrift store, even arranging the showroom, you know, to make it look cute, you know, that sort of thing. And so it's a real opportunity for us to give people a purpose, give them a sense of just, I think, self-worth, and do that community building that I actually think is really important to people finding true change in their life and true transformation.
Great.
Well, that community building is just unbelievable. And I wanted to say that the senior workers that are placed there, they are so dedicated to your mission and purpose to serving others. I mean, they just, you can just tell that they hold that very dear to their spirits. They're very committed.
We've had a number of senior aides over the years since I've been there who have worked for Community Helping Hands in various capacities. And we also have volunteers from RSVP, which is another senior volunteer program as well through Lutheran Social Services. So we're blessed by all of our staff. We really are. And it's such a key part of what we do.
Well, you also have something for the youth.
We do, and we haven't talked about that yet, but hopefully we'll get to it.
Sure.
and I want to...
Linda's like my guardian angel, you
I
know,
see that.
coming from the speaker on the wall.
I wanted to ask you a question. A while ago, I knew that there used to be something called Angel Foods there. Do you still do that?
We don't run that. There's another program very similar to that called Family Table Ministries. That's another program at the Gateway Center. And they do basically a food program once a month where you can order food, you can use SNAP benefits, or you can pay with cash. But it's it's a savings. You get a box of food, there's different orders you can do, and you pick it up on, it's usually the last Saturday of the month is the pickup. And it's a way for people to stretch their food budget. And it used to be called Angel Food, now it's called Family Table Food Ministries, and I do know they're online if anyone's interested in that. And you can sign up online for that, or you can come down to the Community Helping Hands office and sign up for your food.
Great.
Pay for it, and then you pick it up the last Saturday of the month. So, Linda, that is still going on, just under a different name.
I see. Well, that's good, because that's a great program, too. Well, thank you for all that you do in our community.
Thank you so
serving
much,
others.
Linda, for calling in. I really appreciate it.
We had another question, and I only got half of it. What was that, Jeff? As far as your program, is there outreach in any other churches? Is the question.
I'm going to say thank you, and I'm going to hang
I'm sorry,
up.
Linda. Okay, you go, take care.
I'm not sure I understand the question. Is there outreach? And we have a lot of partner churches, churches that support us. We have a lot of volunteers from local churches, and I speak at local churches, sometimes about Community Helping Hands, sometimes just preaching. But I feel like that partnership that we have with the churches is another really key piece of what we do and how it is that we're able to do and help so many people.
Linda was talking about the senior workers there. How many people work there? It sounds like this is like a really big place.
Sometimes I don't know. It's probably, in terms of volunteers, people doing work experience, community service workers, it is easily 50 people or more that are working there. Now, not everyone works every day.
Sure, but that's
some
a
work
lot of
once a
people,
week,
50.
some 30 hours a week. But the work experience workers are kind of a key part of our ministry because what we're doing, and this is it's really a partnership with the Department of Health and Human Services. People who are receiving public assistance are often required to work to continue to receive those benefits. And so what they do is they come to our location. Sometimes they get the hard skills like ringing up people on the register, handling cash, customer service. Our receptionist is always someone doing work experience. So she's scheduling clients, she's doing paperwork, she's filing, she's answering phones. People who sort donations, all those folks are part of our staff. We consider them our staff. And a lot of times it's just simple stuff like following instructions, showing up to work on time, getting along with your fellow team members, people skills.
Sure, soft skills.
But a lot of people, they're required to do a certain number of hours a week, but they end up working more than they have to work because they just simply enjoy doing what they're doing, and they like knowing that their work is helping people.
Wow.
That means a lot to people. I would say that most people, regardless of their background, their socioeconomic situation, they like helping. They really do, and most people consider themselves compassionate.
I think that's an innate feeling or thing that we all have in us. I think truly, even though we read about all the crazies in the world, I think 99.9% of us really do want to help each other. I really do that.
And when you don't have anything else, maybe you don't have a lot of money, maybe you struggle to care for your family, maybe you've been in generational poverty most of your life, but regardless, people like to be part of helping someone.
I agree.
They really do.
We got another question that came through here through Twitter. Is the food program available anywhere else in the county?
There's a lot of churches that take orders and then they pick them up at the Gateway Center and then take them back to their churches.
So check with your local church?
Yeah, and I would go online, and because I think that if you go online to that Family Table Food Ministries website, you'll probably find out a lot more information than I can give you.
Okay, that's our website. All right.
So.
Wow, we're covering a lot of information here. All right. Linda said the magic word youth, and you perked right up. So what's going on with youth?
Well, the other thing we do besides run the thrift shop is we actually run a family and youth center, and that is located on the second floor of the Gateway Center. And
that's inside your building right there?
That is inside our building. We just opened up 7 indoor batting cages, and I don't know if you're familiar and if you're a baseball, softball person, but there are no indoor batting cages in Chautauqua County. And if you are part of a local travel team, if you are at Little League or softball, you have to go to Erie or Buffalo or Olean to find these things. So that's something that we just opened up last March, and it was kind of a pilot season, and we're gearing up again. But we're really excited because we think this can be a real community asset to be able to provide for our local youth and local sports that indoor place. You know, we live in Western New York, and 6 months out of the year, you really cannot be outside practicing your swing or your fielding and that sort of thing.
Is it that long?
Yeah, I know. That's best case scenario, really.
Best case?
6 months.
All right, so how does that work?
Well, the Family Center has more than the indoor batting cages. We also have laser tag. We have an indoor skate and BMX park that is about 4,000 square feet.
You have this in all this?
We do.
What is that?
That's laser tag right there. We have a cafe. We have a game room.
Whoa. Maybe people don't know what laser tag is. What is laser tag?
Laser tag, you wear a pack. There's, I don't know. You're asking the wrong person about how it works. But basically, it's a great game for both adults and children. You have two teams. One team's trying to get to the other team's base, and you try not to get tagged by the other team.
So you zap each other?
You zap each other, but you don't feel it. It's not like paintball where you actually can get hurt. But it's a lot of fun. They have a lot of birthday parties down there.
I have clarification here for my tech. It's digital paintball.
Digital paintball.
Nothing gets splattered.
Bring the tech guy in fast before I lose myself.
You have a sensor on you or something, and must be you have to hit the sensor or something like that.
That's exactly what it is.
I could go for laser tag. I've done the paintball.
You know, maybe you can do a little team building with your staff and volunteers here. Come down, play laser tag, do a review.
Oh yeah.
You could get into reviews on Chautauqua Sunrise.
Did it once, it's like, get that breath.
So, and the purpose of that is really just to provide a safe and positive environment for the youth of our community, the teams, churches, youth groups, even the community itself. There's a lot of things that happen in that family center. CPS, Child Protective Services, uses our center during the day for supervised visits with families. Department of Social Services meets with clients there to do assessments.
You're like a great big beehive there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening, and we just feel it's really part of our mission to offer that to the community. In the spring, we partner with a church in Russell, PA, actually, Praise Fellowship, and we do a makeover event for women who could not otherwise afford that.
How cool.
All kinds of fun stuff. There's a dinner. Just got to make them feel special.
Yeah, we all do.
So anyway, so the space itself, one of the things I tell people is you've got to come down and see this space, because I can talk about it, you can do a public service announcement about it, but until you actually come, take a tour, see it for yourself. I mean, it's incredible.
What's
it's
that?
really beautifully restored. That's our cafe.
What's that all about?
Can you see those ceilings? Can you see the floors? The brick.
Beautiful.
It's a really
industrial
beautiful place.
look.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful place. So, you know, we're really proud of what we've done with that building. It really has been very beautifully restored and repurposed.
Okay.
From its original purpose.
Where'd all the money come from?
Most of it has come from the community, from donations. Lynn Development Group, formerly known as Community Development Association, they recently bought the post office, and they've been a great supporter of Infinity and Striders.
Oh, yes.
They have been a wonderful supporter of Community Helping Hands in the Gateway Center throughout the year. In fact, they originally owned the building and still own a portion of it.
Okay, catch your breath. We got another call.
Okay.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Morning, caller.
Oh, good morning, Doc. It's Mike from Portland.
Mike from Portland. How are you? I haven't heard from you in ages.
I know. I've been busy. But anyways, I wanted to just say hello and also say hello to your guest, Pastor Amy.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
We've our paths have crossed in a couple areas. I actually work for Chautauqua County, and I've helped you with your bill at the landfill. But
great.
Really...
Oh, that Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
See, you know everyone,
Mike.
and I know
everybody. I know Mike.
Yeah. But what I really wanted to let you know is I'm also friends with the Eastmans.
Oh, great, yeah.
So am I.
Yeah, Tara Eastman has done a lot of the artwork around the building, which we haven't even talked about, but there's actually a lot of great art and
I'll put that down.
Kind of local people who have done murals. Charlene Kidder, I don't know if you're familiar with her. She did a wonderful mural. So there's a lot of cross connections, cross-pollination, I think, happening at the Gateway Center. So
Well, anyways, I've actually helped Ian more because he's had youth, his youth group there, the Southwestern Conference Lutheran Youth, and I've been in your building once. I'd like to get there again because I helped chaperone an event with Ian leading it.
Yeah, it's a fun place for youth to hang out, and we do get a lot of youth groups or Boy Scout troops, sports clubs, you know, end of the year banquets, that sort of thing, because it's a great central location. After grad parties, after prom parties. It's a like I said, you know, our goal is to make it a community asset, and we're hopefully doing that by continuing to add the kinds of things that we're doing, like the indoor batting cages now.
Yeah,
so,
sounds great.
Yeah, we've been really blessed by, like I said, lots of community support, but also community partnership. And we're constantly reaching out and trying to offer the space. We do a lot of donated space. We really, really do, because we just feel like it's important to provide that.
So, Mike, do you work with Ian on a regular basis?
Pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, Ian does all the work, but I'm actually the treasurer of the Southwestern Conference. And somehow through that and through just wanting to be involved with youth through the Lake Chautauqua Lutheran Center, I've just become friends with Ian and have helped chaperone on various projects that he's done.
So have you played laser tag, Mike?
I have not. I was in the room, but the time I was there, that's where Ian assigned me, was the laser tag room.
So you were refereeing laser tag?
Yes.
So he has some experience in it.
Yeah. But it's interesting. I mean, and you're right. You really do have to see the building.
Yeah.
It's really it's retrofitted well, but it's definitely it's a huge building, much bigger than...
You know, Mike, we often have former employees from Chautauqua Hardware come through, and they would have worked at Chautauqua Hardware for years, you know, probably most of their life, and they love taking a tour of the building because even though it looks so different, here's the machine shop, here was this particular, room, I think they like knowing that it's still around, and even though it's not the same...
Repurposed,
it's not abandoned. And the place that they spent so much of their time still has life and is a place where the community gathers, the youth gathers, people get help. It really is kind of a great thing, I think. That
what are we looking at right now?
That's a map, a little map of the Gateway Center, and you can see all the different colors show the different organizations that are there and where they're
like
located
a city.
in the building. It is actually 200,000 square feet. That is how big the Gateway Center is. The other thing I might add is the Basket Company is also located there. That's kind of where they put together their nuts. They're I don't know if you're familiar with the Basket Company, but they do gift baskets, nuts, candies. You see them in Wegmans. You see them all over the place.
I know what you mean.
They have a very small shop there, but then that's where that's kind of their factory. They bag and box and ship and that's at the Gateway Center. The Food Bank of Western New York has a distribution site there, so it comes from Buffalo and then goes to the Gateway Center, and from there it's distributed to local food pantries. So there's a lot happening.
Anything else you want to talk about, Mike?
Well, I was just going to say it's nice to see buildings reutilized.
Absolutely.
I'm, as Doc knows, I'm from Buffalo, and yes, I went to school 54.
Down the street from me.
I've had computer problems, so I couldn't tell you, but it is near Jewett.
That's right.
And last time I was in Buffalo about a month ago, I looked around the Jewett Avenue area. I lived on the other side of Main Street, and there's a fair amount of abandonment still in Buffalo, and it's sad to see. And it's nice to see when the things are reused and not just left, to deteriorate.
Right.
And Mike, I like to think of what we do with the building as a metaphor for what we do with people. Sort of, there's a lot of us who maybe feel like we've been thrown out. We're not worth anything anymore. We've been abandoned, and we try and kind of take them and do some repurposing in their lives. That's really what we're about. Our motto is a hand up, and that can apply to people who have emergency needs for clothing, And that can apply to somebody who's just working for us. That can apply to some of the youth that we have a lot of relationships with. There's a lot of at-risk youth that hang out at the Gateway Center, particularly in the skate park. And we've known for years and have seen some great things happen in their lives. So, repurposing building, repurposing clothing and household items, repurposing lives, I think that's what we're really about.
So, Mike, thanks for calling and keep in touch, okay?
Okay, I will.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye now. Hey, you mentioned skate park. Do we have a picture of that?
I don't know if I have a picture of the skate park in there.
No picture. All right. So what is a skate park? I think I know what it is.
It's a skate and BMX park. So they have ramps, and people ride scooters and bikes and skateboards.
Inside
they do
the
tricks,
building?
Inside the building. Tricks. They do
Get outta
flips,
here.
upside down. Honestly, those kids are incredible, what they do. You would not believe what someone can do on a scooter. Upside down, inside out. If you're like a parent, it makes you really nervous.
I hope you have good insurance.
We do. Waivers of liability, all that kind
Wear
of
those
stuff.
helmets. Wear those knee pads.
Oh,
and
yes,
that.
helmets and padding. And
Oh, my gosh.
I do want to talk about, I know that we don't have that much time, but I want to tell you
Go
about
ahead.
one more thing that we
Sure.
do that is kind of not a secret, but people don't know much about it. We have a sewing room, too. And what happens is women who are pregnant are often assigned to do work experience. And so we have volunteers.
Whoa. Say that again?
Women who are pregnant.
Are assigned.
So they're on
whom?
public assistance, the Department of Health and Human
okay.
Services.
All right.
So,
I thought all pregnant women have to go sew.
yeah, no. So what they do is we have volunteers that teach them how to sew and quilt, and they start with very simple projects that we actually sell in our thrift store, aprons and bags and pot holders and things like that. And they eventually get to make a quilt for their own baby. And what's cool is that we do a lot of upcycling. I don't know if you're familiar with that term. And so
No, upcycling.
I'll give you an example. We get a lot of T-shirts donated. More
Okay.
T-shirts than you could ever sell or give away. And what they do is they tear them into strips, and then they crochet rugs out of them.
Oh, okay.
And we sell them.
Rag rugs and things like that. Sure,
Exactly.
sure.
Upcycling. That's kind of like a very kind of cool hipster term. And they do that with, they're always coming up with like great projects. We sell those things. They have all kinds of cool things they're doing. And so we actually do take donations of fabric and sewing materials. And
You'll take just about anything, it sounds like. You're repurposing whatever.
honestly, the only thing that we will not take is we will not take CRT monitors and televisions. Because we have to pay to recycle those, and we have a very, very hard time even selling them these days. And then, of course, anything that really is not in good shape, it's torn or stained or dirty or anything like that, it's just we have to throw that away if we can't use it. So, but we love to repurpose, to upcycle, to reuse, to kind of make the most of what we have. We have a saying called Gateway Perfect. Something's Gateway Perfect. And what that means is it's not really that perfect at all. In fact, it's probably quite flawed, but it's Gateway Perfect. So we have Gateway Perfect stuff, a lot of Gateway Perfect people around, and it's kind of what we do. So
Amy, we're down to the last minute. Why don't you tell us once more how people get to you or donate to you, hours, phone numbers, all that good stuff.
Okay, so call us at 716-487-1488. Visit us on the web at chhny.org, or you can go to the Gateway Center website, which is thegatewaycenter.org. We are, of course, on Facebook. We actually are on Instagram as well. And if you go to Gateway 14701, you can see some amazing videos of the kids doing their tricks and all kinds of fun things. They had a fun Halloween thing they did where they dressed up and did some tricks. And then one more thing I'll say is upcoming in December, we do this every year. We have a Christmas shop. We get lots of Christmas donations all throughout the year, trees, ornaments, lights, you name it, we get it, some of it brand new, and we sell it at very, very low prices, and we also give away a lot of those Christmas decorations too to families that otherwise would not be able to afford a tree or stockings or lights and that sort of thing. So.
Oh, well, thanks for coming on the show, Amy. You've been watching Chautauqua Sunrise. My guest has been Reverend Amy Rohler. And if you need more information, give her a call at 487-1488. We're going to be back here next Saturday. Have a great weekend. Throw out the anchor. Hang on to everything. Lock down anything that moves around with this wind. Y'all have a good weekend, and we'll be here next week. Take care.
All right.
That's
Thank
it.
you.